Well, I suppose we best start this car talk, really, haven't we? And this, but yeah, one thing I was thinking about for this one is something that is going on. It's a bit of a current event for me at the moment. And I wanted to talk about kind of like the effect of, or the differences really, I suppose it'd be, or the effects it's been having, the online shopping with the car world.
Yeah.
Because, you used to go to everything to the shop for everything, but now you can buy everything online, and and I'm a culprit for it myself.
Likewise, yeah.
And the thing is, you can even buy a car online now. You've got all these companies popping up like Kazoo and is it something else like that, like Zoom or something, I don't know, Cinch and things like that.
That's right, yeah.
All popping up everywhere, and they're places that you can actually buy a car online now, sight unseen.
Yeah. And they'll deliver it to you as well.
Yeah, and it is mad. I think if I turn around to my grandparents and told them you'd be able to buy a car online without you seeing it, they'd probably turn around and say you're absolutely nuts wanting to spend that much money buying something offline you couldn't physically see, like touch, drive, and hear.
There's a little risk when you consider the amount of money you can put down for a car.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. A lot of them they get around it by doing you've got 15 days or whatever, 28 days to make sure you like it. But it's whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. To be honest, with things like the pandemic and that, it was a really good thing. Yeah. In certain people's lifestyles, like the pace of life has got a hell of a lot quicker these days, and it's getting faster and faster by the minute. Well, so I can see it being good for that point of view. But again, I'm one of those people that I enjoy going and having a look at cars. Yeah. I enjoy jumping in a car with my mates. Like me and you have done it. Me and Dav have done it. I've done it with Lloyd, a few other people. I love jumping in a car with a couple of mates to go down and look at a car that one of us might be buying. Going on that road trip, that adventure together, and that side of it, like secondhand, is great. And going to a car showroom where you can actually see it with your own eyes and actually think, yeah, I really like that, and things like that. And you can stand there and look at it. You can sit in it. You can feel it. You can, and it seems a lot more real. Whereas I find, I don't know, for me personally, the online thing is convenient, but I still prefer the real thing personally.
Oh, definitely. But even for like car parts and bits and pieces like that is completely changed that as well.
Yeah, funny enough, because that was what I was going to say. That is where it's hit me the most, because you may see a rant from me and Morgs, which would have been last month if you're watching this video. Yeah. But for us, it was 10 minutes ago. So, but that was about the fact that I recently bought a load of car parts offline, aftermarket car parts for my truck, because I'm upgrading the lighting system, because I went off-roading last winter in it, and it's got tinted windows in the back, which look really cool, but are not very practical in the middle of the night when you're trying to reverse up a pitch black byway and not being able to see anything behind you. No. Luckily, I had a banksman with me, or a passenger with me that could be like a banksman, and he could guide me back. But
you don't always have that luxury, do you?
No, that's it. So my solution to that is a set of lights, and I want to do it properly. So I've my setup, which I will do a video about as well. So keep an eye on our channel for it. Is I've got lights to come out the side, which will be like alleyway lights, or like lights that should light up, like floodlights that will light up the right side of the side, so I can see where the road is. I've got two to go on the back, and they're small, about 4-inch LED, Cree LED spotlights. So they'll be low power consumption but high output, and I've got a light bar to go across the front to go with my spotlights, my headlights, because obviously you want to see in front of you more than anywhere else. I got proper switches, I got proper fuse box to wire in, and I even got heat shrink wrap. I've gone to the stage where I want to do this properly. Yeah. I even got heat shrink for the wiring, and all sorts of stuff like that. I'm doing it properly. I'm going to wire it in properly, and it's going to be like it was something that came out of the factory with. But yeah, basically, I ordered it all. I'm on my second out of 3 days off. It should have all arrived. It did all arrive by Thursday, Friday. Great, awesome. Meant I had a couple of days to do it. Sit round, start doing it. When I've planned it and everything. It all came, and the light bar has got no brackets with it.
Cracking.
Yeah. So unless I want to use zip ties and duct tape to hold it on, considering I've gone to all of the effort to do it properly. Yeah, I don't want to do that. So I've had to email the company back on Friday, which was the day before my days off, and they, of course, haven't got back to me because it was Friday. So now I have to wait till Monday to even hear from them, and then we're going to work out whether they're going to send me the brackets or whether I'm going to have to send back the whole thing and wait for a refund or wait for a new one. I really don't know, but it's completely just botched the whole thing. And because of the way I want to do it, I need everything there so I can measure it all up, so I can take the roof basket that we built off to drill the holes and mount the lights first, and then it's going to go back on the truck and make sure it fits and it's all fabricated properly and make sure we can tweak anything that needs tweaking, and then we can put the wiring in. But obviously I don't want to have to do that with the 4 lights that I have got that work with the brackets and then have to do it all over again just for the light bar, so I'm having to wait now, and it's really doing my head in.
It takes the convenience out of online shopping, doesn't it?
It really does, because it's gone from, great, I ordered it online, it's going to arrive at my door, I can do it on my days off, to now, great, now I've got all this crap to sort out, and I'm going to have to wait until my next day's off, and hope that the weather's good then as well, because I don't have the luxury of a workshop right now.
Well, the problem is we don't have anywhere, apart from a small selection in Halfords now, we don't have anywhere where you can go and buy car parts like you used to be able to. You used to be able to go to like Motor World or like Halfords as well. Used to have a huge selection of modified car bits and other bits and pieces. But
that's it. I mean, looking back on, I had an old Cavalier, and I mean that one, it was lowered 40mm. 17-inch rims, power flow exhaust, pipe across induction kit, had neons on it at one stage, you had a 1K sound system in there, I had a different steering wheel, gear knob, handbrake, LED lighting inside to change the dash to blue, all sorts of stuff on it. And I mean the springs, the wheels, the springs, the exhaust and the induction kit came offline because I wanted good makes from them. But most of the interior, the sound system, the steering wheel, all of that, which I've still got the steering wheel, all of that came from Motor World. And I just walk in and I was like a kid in a candy shop. It was brilliant. You just stood there and I could walk up there and wander around inside there for an hour just looking at stuff I wanted, even if I didn't have the money for it.
It was like it was kind of like Argos for petrol heads.
It was. You walk in, they'd have stacks of wheels on the floor. They even had bucket seats you could sit in, didn't they? Like bucket seat sort of office chairs that you'd sit in there.
Well, that was the thing you don't get with online is, you can buy a bucket seat, but you've got to hope that when it turns up, it's the right fit for you and comfortable.
Yeah.
At least with somewhere like a Halfords or a Motor World or somewhere like that, you could try it before you bought it, but also you could go up to the person behind the counter and go, I've got such and such a car, will this fit?
Yeah.
Because I'm not being funny, but you go on eBay and you type in the details for your car, and then it goes, yep, this item will fit your car. You order it, it turns up, and it doesn't. And then you've got to go through all the rigmarole of sending it back then. Whereas at least if the person in the shop got it wrong, you just returned to the shop and said, oh, this didn't fit. You try a different one then.
Well, this is my biggest thing, and this is why, like I said, I had the rant on TikTok, and this is why I wanted to do this video today, because I would love it if anybody ever sees this and is watching this, please bring back a Motor World or something like that. Because, excuse me, I got allergies. But, I was just, bring us back a car parts, a car tuning thing. Because, I mean, Demon Tweaks used to be over in East Wales.
Yep.
They're gone now, I believe. They've gone into liquidation and disappeared. They're gone forever. I mean, they were a bit more expensive, but they used to do a lot of things for like rally cars, drift cars, actual race cars. They used to do like proper harnesses that were in date, that had FIA stamps on them and things like that were more for the go than the show. Then you had Motor World, and up until fairly recently, there was actually still one in Swansea when all the others had closed down. Yeah, over by Gowerton, that way there was one. It might even still be there now, I don't know, but that one was there, hanging on. But I'm pretty sure I went in there once. I think I stopped there once just to have a look, just for reminiscence of the old times and that. It's not like it was before though. There was like hardly anything in there modifying wise. I think they had like a catalogue of wheels you could have a look through. Again, they basically did the online shopping for you when I went in there.
Well, you used to be able to walk into Halfords and say you had a Corsa B, for example, you could basically walk up one wall, and by the end of it, you'd done the front of the car modifications, you'd done like small engine modifications, you'd done all your in-car entertainment, and you finish it off with like polished tip at the back.
Yeah, that's it.
You could literally build your car from start to finish just by going up one aisle.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, they do still have the odd thing, like you can buy, in some of them they still got the old stock of the cheap cone filters, and they got the wire mesh, and you can buy aftermarket stereos. I mean, Halfords is still a very good place to go. If you need an aftermarket stereo, I would recommend Halfords. They are pretty good, and they've usually got the good fitting kits and things like that. They even got aerials in there. Because funny enough, I was going to buy one of those 80 star rubberized aerials in my truck, because the electric one that goes in and out is expensive to replace, and if I accidentally forget to turn the radio off and I'm off road and a tree branch catches it, it's going to snap my brand new aerial, so I'm going to put a rubber one on there.
But they don't have half the selection they used to, though.
Oh no, well, like I say, you go to the one local to us and it's got half an aisle now, and that's about it. I mean, do you remember before when you used to be able to go in, they'd have subwoofers and stuff there on that big wall, and then you have the different buttons you could press to make the different speakers. It's brilliant. You could press different buttons for the different stereos to have a play with, and you could press different buttons for the different speakers to actually have a listen of. And that was really cool. Just like I say, little things like that was quite nice to actually be there and experience.
Yeah.
And I do feel sorry for... It's going to make me sound old as hell, but I do feel sorry for the younger generation of modders now that can't go through that, because that was I spent so many Saturdays before I had commitments like kids, mortgages, and things like that. I spent quite a lot of my time in these shops just looking around and just running. It just let your imagination run riot in your head. You'd see things, you'd be like, oh, that'd be brilliant in my car, that would be brilliant in my... And you start thinking about where it could go in your car and your footwell, or how you're going to wire it up and how you're going to do things. And I mean, don't get me wrong, modified cars is a very niche market, and there is a lot of people out there. It's a very divided topic, isn't it? You've got the very straight-laced people that are like, no, I'm going to buy it from the manufacturer. How they've done it is how it should be done, and blah blah blah. And I mean, to some extent I do agree with it, because I mean, I remember when I was doing my training as a mechanic, and they said like VW or Honda or whoever it was has just spent £500,000 perfecting that suspension, and then you're going to go mess it up with £100 springs off eBay, which in some ways can be right, but then there's the people who modify cars who do it because they want to put their own mark on it, which I think there's nothing wrong with. Every car I've had is every car I've still got now is modified in some way, so I like that side. And from some point of view they are right, but then from other points of view I would have said that every manufacturer, yes, they design that car to the best of their abilities, but if you look, there's not many cars out there that are all out balls to the wall race cars, which is what a lot of the boy racers want. They're not out there designed to go speed. They're designed, the intake is designed to give maximum airflow at a low volume. It's to try and keep your engine quiet. Whereas if you don't care about the sound of your engine, you can get a lot more airflow in and a lot more power out. Well, a little bit more power out of it. Same with the exhaust. Then the same with the suspension. The suspension is designed to be comfortable as well as handling. Whereas if you go for all-out handling, it's going to be uncomfortable. Whereas if you go out for all-out comfort, it's not going to handle and things like that. So there are things you can tailor a car to your specific needs. I mean, I've had lowered cars over the years and things like that, and they're horrible around potholes and things like that, and cat's eyes and things like that, but I tell you what, they handle like they're on rails. So it depends on what you're after the car. So I mean, my personal opinion is that modified cars, if it's done safely, there's nothing wrong with it. It's fine. I mean, don't get me wrong, there is some people that do it unsafely and bits and bobs, and that I don't agree with or condone, but it's just, I think modified cars, there's a world where just everybody's imagination runs riot, which is brilliant, and I think these shops played a massive part in that, which is what I was going back to, is like going through all of this. It's just,
But even if you're not looking for brand new parts, you used to be able to go to a scrapyard and you'd wander around, you'd look for your model or whatever you were after, you'd find the car, you check it if it had that part, you take the part off and you go and you buy that part from them. Whereas now, because of health and safety and other bits and pieces, you can't do it anymore. And it used to be, it was almost like a day out for us guys. We could go down to Eastall's when it was down in Bideford, and we could just spend hours wandering about going, oh Christ, look, it's such and such. I haven't seen one of them on the road for years.
Well, that did used to be part of it for us, didn't it? Like going into the scrapyards and spotting, because I remember over in the corner resources where they had the old cars, wasn't it, where they didn't actually bother crushing them, and they had Capris, old Minis, old Morris Marinas, and, like, just cars you never saw anymore, and it was quite cool to see. And I mean, again, I get why they've stopped people going on there, 'cause, I mean, I remember I remember that I needed a part off the Cavalier once, and it was the top of a stack of 3 cars. It was one car, one on the roof, and then the Cavalier on top of that, which is what I needed to get at. It might have even been 4, I can't remember. But I climbed up the stack adjacent to it to lean across these 2 stacks of cars into the bonnet to get this part off. And it turned out that part was just as ruined as mine was anyway. But, I mean, I look back on it now and think, Jesus Christ. And the thing is, I remember standing on the top and thinking, wow, this is sketchy, because the Cavalier, as I was leaning over the wing of it, was going like that, and the car I was stood on was going like that, because I leant on the Cavalier one bit and it actually started to move that way. I was like, oh, no, stop, and pulled it back to me. And I mean, like I said, you think of that was... That's horrifically dangerous when you think of it now. So I can understand the safety side of it, but again, from our point of view, it was a day out for us, wasn't it? So I mean, that side of it, like I say, you can go online now to get second-hand parts. eBay has been a big one. Gumtree, you can go on to. You can find people breaking cars in the back garden. So I mean, I'm not saying the internet is a bad thing. I don't think, because I mean, like I said, I've probably picked up more second-hand parts and made more contacts that break cars through the internet than I ever had before. But
to be fair, the amount, the different parts and different things you never even thought of having in the first place, you could find online that you couldn't find in a shop or
I mean,
a catalogue or anything like that.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. I think it swings and roundabouts, really, isn't it? Because
it's convenient when it works well, and it turns up on time, and everything's in one piece.
Yeah.
Which, if you went to a shop, 99 times out of 100, that's going to be the case. They're going to bring you out a box. Everything's going to be in it. Yeah. Like I said, if it wasn't, it was easy enough to go back to the shop and they go, really sorry, here's another box with all the parts in. That's
the thing I miss the most. That's like I said, 'cause that is the thing which is completely spoiled. Well, not completely spoiled. It spoiled my weekend, well, my time off, really, a little bit, because I was looking forward to having some new toys on the truck.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, luckily, because I drive 20-year-old shitboxes, excuse my language, because I drive old cars, there's always something that needs doing. So today I did the brakes on the truck. Yesterday I soldered the new battery into the key for the beamer.
Yeah.
There's lots of other things I need to do on my cars because they're always broken. But I was looking forward to having fun and putting new toys on my car, and now I can't. So it's that's why I had a bit of a rant on TikTok about it. But it's and like you said, the scrapyard thing is a big thing that is one thing I really do miss. The fact that you could go down, and not only the fact that you go down and pick your own parts, but it was also quite good because I found it helped you think outside the box. Because I remember my air intake boot split on the Cavalier, and I was on my way to work, and it split, and I taped it up just to get myself to work. And on the way home, I popped past Esau Brothers to have a look, and every other Cavalier they had on there, the air pipe was just as split as mine was because they were all Cavaliers on there. I was like, right, okay. And I had a look around, and I found a Volvo one that fitted, and I've still got that induction kit in the shed with that Volvo air pipe on it 20 years later. But that was the other thing. You could go around and find what other cars had on them and see if you could make it fit yours.
Yeah.
Which is another thing that kind of got your imagination going, and I think it just helped you be a lot more technically minded back then. You'd be like, right, okay, I need this. How can I make it work? You'd be like, right, okay, let me have a look at these cars. And that's basically what I did. Is I basically went in there when I found all the Cavalier ones were busted because I had all morning.
Yeah.
I just went back in, looking for ones that are about the right sort of size and about the right sort of shape. And I came out with an armful of them like that. I said to the guy, do you mind if I check them all to see what fits? And he was like, yeah, no worries, as long as you put the others back. And that's what I did. Is I went until I found one that fitted. I went, right, that one fitted. I walked the other ones back in and put them, I think, on top of a box so people could see. Like there was loads of air intake boots there.
Yeah.
But like I say, things like that just made life so much easier. And
well, I remember going and getting a set of XR3 alloys for my Mark II Fiesta, and had I not gone in there, I would have possibly looked at what would be available from Halfords at the time, those kind of alloys, and gone for them instead. But because I went to the scrapyard and because there was Ford wheels are plenty in there, I could actually go around and go, well, actually, they look quite nice. Or, oh, actually, if I'd been looking for like a set of pepper pots to make it look like an XR2, I probably could have found them.
Yeah.
All the different bits and pieces. And the thing is, as well, is the parts are really affordable because, if you've gone and taken the parts off yourself, it saved them having to do it.
Yeah.
And, a lot of the time they were making money hand over fist for just scrapping the cars. So if you were going up and taking bits off other ones, they were just going, well, still profit in our pocket kind of thing, and they wouldn't charge you the earth for them.
That's it. You say how much for a new headlight from your car, and you're 20 quid, tenner. Things like that is brilliant.
Yeah, as long as they didn't have to take it off for you, they were more than happy to part with it for pence a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's it. And I mean, to be honest, again, another way is like, I remember always come out there with pockets full of bulbs, fuses, relays, spares like that. Always had pockets full of freebies.
Yeah.
So you always felt like you had an awesome deal with that. It was brilliant, that was.
Oh, yeah.
And it was, and anyone who says that they never did that are liars. I don't care what they say, they're fucking liars.
Yeah. Yeah, we did occasionally walk out with things a little bit bigger than fuses, but we, I think...
you'd wear your big coats with biggest pockets you could find.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, you wouldn't go out there to nick stuff, but like I say, if you're going to the scrapyard to buy something else, you may as well get some free fuses now. Yeah. I had so many. In the end, I think I stopped nicking them because I didn't need any more fuses because I had enough fuses that I could have rewired about 12 cars.
well, I know people that used to go around and have a look in the cars, just for like CDs and bits and people. Pieces that people have left behind.
That's it. Yeah, you used to get bobbleheads off the dashboards and things like that. It's brilliant.
VHS tapes and DVDs and stuff like that.
They're just awesome, and it's.
But yeah, it was mainly just looking back at classics and bits and pieces that we didn't see on the road, or like you say, just making you think a little bit harder about how to replace this part. Wonder if that'll do, kind of thing. Whereas now you just go online and you go, and it goes, this is for your car.
Yeah, exactly, and it's.
So it's as much as anything, the online shopping is taking the excitement out of being able to go out and about as a petrol head and experience cars.
I tell you what, I've been trying to think this entire video of how to put it, and I think you've hit the nail right on the head there. It is. It takes away. Because I was thinking it takes away the personal experience side of it and everything like that. But yeah, it does. It makes it less exciting. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's quite cool, and I do. Don't get me wrong, it's exciting when the parts land on your doorstep. It's like, ooh, like that. And it was really exciting, but then also at the same time, it was extra infuriating when I opened it up and there was wrong bits in there.
And when you went to a shop, you'd meet other people that had the same passion as you. You know,
the people that worked in the motor world, like we were saying earlier, there was the girl there, Kat, and Zimmer, and a few others that were people that we knew from the car scene, that were boy racers the same as us, and the boy and girl racers the same as us, and they had nice cars, and they cared and they loved cars well. I mean, half the time you go in there to buy one part and you stand there at the till talking to them for 20 minutes, half an hour afterwards, wouldn't you? It was brilliant.
Same with the scrapyard. You go in there and you go, I need such and such a part for my car, and then you come back and go, I couldn't find it, and they go, well, have you thought of trying this?
Yeah, and they were really good with stuff like that.
So you're missing out on, as much as you were missing out on car experiences, you were missing out on knowledge as well.
Yeah, so I mean, it was good. It got you thinking, and it's. But I was going to say, I think we should wrap it up there, because I mean, we've been talking for a little while here. Is this nearly another half an hour one? Oh no, 25. But yeah, no. But I was going to say, it's the changing of the times, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not fuddy-duddy despite this video's topic and everything like that. I mean, like I said, I think there is a swings and roundabouts, and I think there is a lot of good things. It's opened a plethora of parts you wouldn't normally be able to get your hands on, like you were saying, things like that. It's really good in a lot of ways, but in a lot of other ways, I think it does rob you, like exactly what you said, it robs you of the experience and the excitement a little bit. So, I mean, let us know what you think. I mean, do you think that we're just dinosaurs in what we're saying, and if you think, no, you don't know what you're on about? Or do you agree with us? I mean, are you one of the youngsters that have never been to a scrapyard and been able to go and pillage your own parts, or members of these shops? And this is like, let us know what you think, because it's, I mean, personally, I think that I think it's more than time has gone past. Somebody needs to open up another tuning shop, I think, where you could go and buy your own tuning parts, I think.
And also, if you live in another country, do you still have these kind of shops? You know, is there more availability for you in other places than there is for us in the UK?
Yeah, because I think they do in America and things, but
in Japan especially, they still have a lot of car shops and bits and pieces.
Yeah, but like I said, we'd love to hear what you guys think. Let us know, and thanks for watching. I hope we haven't bored you to death, and see you in the next one.
Cheers.